You know, one of the biggest issues in the film world right now is, of course, we've talked a lot about it, is the fact that Hollywood itself, LA, California, Hollywood, has lost incredible amounts of production. Very few things, or at least a lot less things today, shoot in California and in LA and other American cities as well. And what can be done? Well, in a new article that came out today in Variety that you can see here, California has just made a major move. They've just approved $342 million in grants to 52 films, including Jumanji, Heat 2, and a bid to jumpstart big budget production. This is what it says. California has set aside $342 million in tax credits in a bid to jumpstart production of big budget films, including a record $43.9 million for the next installment of the Jumanji franchise. The state is also committing $37.2 million for Heat 2 from Michael Mann, as well as $38.4 million for the next film from the Daniels, the Oscar-winning team behind Everything Everywhere All at Once. The Daniels film from Universal was already approved for $20.8 million in March, but thanks to the expansion of the state's incentive program this summer, now finds itself the recipient of nearly $18 million windfall. All right. This is significant because for the world to have a thriving movie industry, I think Hollywood needs to have a thriving movie industry. You just do. And, you know, Rob, we have lamented for a long time. Look, the studies have come out. I remember on the show, we actually read the study itself that showed every $1 that a local government, whether it's Atlanta, Hollywood, London, whatever, for every $1 that a local government will dedicate to film production and incentives, they make $3 back. For every $1 you spend, $3 gets injected into the local economy. If this were Wall Street and, oh, there's a stock, for every $1 you invest, you get $3 back. I mean, that would be a no-brainer, right? But it's still, listen, whenever you're talking about, it's true with sports when they want to use public funds to build a new stadium. It's true with anything. Whenever you're talking about public money being used to finance some rich multi-billion-dollar industry, understandably, that raises some eyebrows. But again, the data has been collected. The studies have been done. There's a reason why these foreign countries are like, yeah, we'll take a piece of that pie. Absolutely. And so then a lot of people like us have been lamenting, like, why isn't California? Why isn't New York? Why isn't Georgia moving more on this? But it seems like California has made a major step in that direction. And in an attempt to kind of really revitalize things and to bring productions like Heat 2 and Jumanji, and if it can kickstart other big budget projects to come back into town. Listen, they may be putting 40-something million into Jumanji. If they're going to spend $250 million making this movie, and probably about 80% of that will be spent in California, and the jobs that it creates and the tax revenue that will then create and all that kind of stuff, it just seems like a no-brainer. So look, I applaud them for this. I do. But I do wonder why it's taken this long to be taking steps like this. I don't know the inner workings of it, but this seems like a good positive step in the right direction for film production at any rate. Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Zapier. You know, one of the biggest game changers of the past year has been AI. But let's be real, just talking about AI doesn't actually make your day any more productive. What does make it more productive is finding tools to put AI to work for you. And that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is the easiest way to take AI and plug it directly into the apps and processes that you're already using every day. No IT bottlenecks, no complexity, just results. For me, it's been about saving time on repetitive stuff so I can focus on the work that matters and I actually enjoy. And it's not just me. Over 3.4 million companies are already using Zapier to streamline everything from sales and marketing to IT and HR. With their AI orchestration platform, you can connect top AI models like ChatGPT or Claude right into the apps you already use. So whether it's automatically enriching leads, coaching your sales team, or even resolving IT tickets, Zapier makes it simple. Guys, join the the 3.4 million companies already automating with Zapier and transform how you work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/Campea. That's Zapier.com/Campea. Rob, you read this. You saw the new money that's going to be put in the tax credits for this. Will it work? Will it attract more production back here? Or are we already past the point of no return? What do you think?
Well, I think this is a good start, but the problem that needs to be surmounted is that California is a state that, hey, you can pass whatever you want. You can allocate as much money as you want. The problem is that everybody has their hands out. And by the time you have an initiative, it's like, hey, let's bring back production. Well, you also have to make sure that everybody's not, asking for top dollar every step of the way. That means your permit fees should not be exorbitantly high.
Yeah, they got to fix that.
It means union fees have to be mindful. If you want to bring production back, it's not just about giving tax incentives. You have to make it much easier and much more attractive to make movies on every level here. And the problem is, everybody took California production for granted, and everybody had their hands out. The studios were willing to pay. Like, let's grease the palms if we want to shoot on these streets, and you have to have 10 police officers to do this. So the costs were not just, we have to make sure that those costs do not stay exorbitantly high, because Los Angeles as a city is dying. You drive around Los Angeles, half the apartments are empty, half the restaurants are empty, many of the bars and nightclubs and things that people
it
have
is
closed.
Still the fourth largest economy in the world.
Well,
California is still the fourth largest.
California is, but if you look at Los Angeles as a city, all you have to do is do a cursory glance, drive up and down Melrose, drive through Hollywood, drive through any places, Santa Monica, the 3rd Street Promenade. I mean, all these places that people used to traffic to, go out are dying. And you have to make sure that production incentives are great, but you also have to make sure that the city and state make it attractive.
Yeah, not prohibitive.
Not prohibitive. And that's something that we'll see. I hope it happens.
I still remember when I was making my little nothing film, The Anniversary, and we wanted to shoot this scene, really simple scene, of this guy and girl talking in a park. That's it. We didn't want to bring in production trucks.
Nope.
We just want to send a guy with a light, a guy with a boom microphone, somebody with a camera, and film our 2 actors. Wanted to do everything right. So I got a hold of the city film department.
Sure.
Dude, the cost of what I was going to have to pay to be allowed to film for an hour in that, I didn't want to shut the park down. Hey, we're just going to be over here in this corner of the park. We want to shoot this little scene. Take about an hour. Was going to cost more than what I was going to have to pay 2 actors, a sound guy, a light guy, a camera guy, and a production assistant all combined to be there to shoot it. It was literally going to double my costs for the day. And I just had to go, well, we can't do it.
And that's what really killed production here.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their hands out. And I understand that.
Which is kind of understandable. If you go back to like the 90s, it's understandable when everybody wanted to shoot here, supply and demand.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, you want to shoot on this street, great. Well, the price is going to be this because this is where everyone wants to shoot. But they got to wake up to the fact that not everybody is shooting here now. They have to adjust their pricing accordingly.
They also need to do, you made a great point, they need to inspire independent production here.
100%.
I mean, giving big studios money, okay, great. There's also all these empty soundstage facilities that have been built here in anticipation of this, but they also have to make it attractive for indie filmmakers below a certain budget. If you want to go shoot in a park, that you don't have to pay exorbitant fees. And they need to do that, and not just $500,000 or less productions. I mean,
anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? California's made a pretty major move here to attract in a number of big productions. Hopefully it will spiral into more big productions because they've got to try to stem this thing. I think it's a good move, but is it a good start? Or is it more than just that? I don't know. However you guys see it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.